No, I'm not live. Am I live? Oh, okay, I am live. Perfect. All right, do let me know in the chat, please, if everything is good. Okay, well, now you can see my screen. If the audio is good as well, because there is a lot of traffic downstairs. And I don't know if you can hear like a mess. So if everything is good, we can start. We'll do a quick one. And yeah, so first of all, let's see what happened. Little back noise, but not that bad. Perfect audio. Okay, then I'll stay here. In case it's bad, let me know, and I'm gonna move back inside. But I thought it would be nice to have a little live with a little Dubai view, because why not? So anyways, so as you guys know, if you followed the very last live, I believe, we did take this long trade on Bitcoin, which I will switch on to here. As you can see, I took most profit recently. I realized about $350, and in total about 365. Very small position. This was initially a scalp, and it turned into more of a swing trade. This was at 88, and as you guys know, the initial target was this daily naked point of control, which we clearly went to very, very well. There was no drawdown from this, by the way. We entered, I believe, around here. From there, it's just been to the upside. And I also did make a video update on YouTube where I was talking about this level. However, if you go back and watch the video, in the video I clearly made a drawing that was something like this, saying that if we did this exact reaction right here, that I would not have taken a short. And that is exactly what you saw. So this is on the 1 hour. If you go on the 30 minutes, you can see we pretty much blasted through this level right here and never actually had a bearish rejection. So there was no reason to take a short trade. If anything, I would have actually taken a long trade, because as you can see here, we clearly flipped this into support, and then we continued the pump. The pump to, what was that? These latest highs right here. You can clearly see that. Very, very simple SFP of these highs. What I didn't like was this front run of the anchor VWAP. And from there, we actually closed a 1 hour candle under, clear SFP. I did send a signal in the Discord that I would have gone short with small size. And in fact, as you can see, I am short now with very small size, with entry at 94.1. I was actually a bit late, because to be honest, I don't remember why I was late. But I mean, you could have taken this trade at around, around here, 9422. And yeah, so we're in the short trade now. And as I've talked about in my video, my first area of interest is going to be around this naked point of control daily. Naked point of control at around 90,000, taking out 90,000 psychological. I believe this also lines up with some Fibonacci level. Yeah, very, very well. So that's definitely my first area of support, where I'm gonna put an alert, and you should as well. This is, very simple. We have the naked point of control. We have the Fibonacci level, which, as we have seen, has been respected very well. By the way, if you missed this short trade, I was actually on a plane right here yesterday, but you could have shorted the retest right here. That was a very clear retest. So that was the entry right there, in case you missed it the first time. And as we have seen, we have respected this Fibonacci level so many times. So, and now lining up with the naked point of control, and perhaps we even have an anchor VWAP from more down. Let's see. And perfect, the anchor VWAP as well from the low. I honestly don't mind this level, potentially for a scalp. I do feel like it's gonna get hit in a couple hours. I'm probably gonna be asleep. But if you're up to trade this and you have a nice reaction, I would definitely be looking for a long here. You just set your alerts. This trade is done. You set your alerts, and then if you get a nice reaction on a 5 minute market structure shift, you can easily take this right here, either a range and then SFP, for example, on the lower level, tap of the anchor VWAP, go back above, lower time frame market structure change. All right, there's also the CME gap. That's correct. I did talk about this in the video. Maybe you can wait for a reclaim of 90,000 if you want to be even more sure, and then you would have such a trade. But as I've also talked about, and then at this point, I would say we would have to target 97, 98. I also talked about this in my video, so I do suggest you watch that. By the way, do you guys want me to put on some lights? I don't know if you can even see me properly. I mean, not that I matter, to be honest. But anyways, as in my image in the video. Anyways, my bigger target is going to be down to here. Like, if we fail to hold this anchor VWAP, we're going to be looking at this level right here. If I'm not wrong, if we trace our little fixed range volume profile, I believe that's going to be the point of control. Oh no, now the point of control has moved up. Okay, interesting. Let's see from here. Yeah, it's gonna be around here, I would say. Let me move this a little bit back. Yeah, that was the thing. Before this big rise, the point of control was down here, which added a lot of confluence. Now with the new move up, most of the volume has moved up, which is also kind of bearish now because we've lost this point of control. So I honestly, this could hold, but I would say this is more of a scalp trade. Like, I feel like if we don't flip this level, like if we don't hold here, I mean, it's kind of hard. Even if we hold here, I feel like the most likely scenario is to go and back test this, or for example this, and continue lower, and then maybe we can have that reversal. And that's why I would wait more for this 87 to 86. We also do have that value area low now. We have these lows. We would still hold a higher low compared to this low and compared to this low and this low. So I have a feeling that this is gonna be the better area. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're protected because we do have the short running, which, by the way, it's, even though I want to show you this, because I had a total of 0.2 I think in position. Yeah, I had 0.2, and my stop loss was just above the high. I mean, now if I hit stop loss, I lose $80. But that means that initially I took $150 of a risk, and I made $500. This is to show you, you don't have to trade with huge size in order to make nice profits. Like, you could have risked $150 and you could have made $550. This is just to show you, like, even if you have a smaller account, let's say you have $2,000-$3,000 to trade with, you can risk $100, $200. That's, I mean, it's not really fine, but $100 would be about 5% of the account. Not about. If you have $2,000, it is 5% of the account. And even if you respect this 5% max rule, you can still make nice profits if you hold the trades correctly. I mean, look at this. I went short with the stop loss above right there. I held this. I never took profit, and I took profit at the lower part. And so I let this run. A lot of people instead, they sell here. As soon as they go in profit, they start selling. So you also have to be able to manage your emotions and let this, like, hit the take profit. For example, for me, the first take profit was this anchor VWAP. I was only able to take some profit a bit later, around here, because I was on the plane. But here at the time, we had the point of control, we had the anchor VWAP, so that was a clear take profit. And these are the places where you're supposed to take profit. You're not supposed to take profit anywhere along this place. Maybe you could take some profit here at the value area high if you want to be aggressive, but you know, we're swing trading, so you need to let the trades run a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, first I'm gonna mark this like this so it's more clear. Let's delete these drawings. I have my phone in front of the screen. Okay, I would say here we can have a scalp long trade. let's say around this area. You do have to wait for the reaction, always keep that in mind. And so we're gonna have something like this, for example. But again, I would consider this as a very heavy take profit. I would probably take 50% right here. Right here. Something like that. Definitely that. And then second aggressive take profit, I would take it here. And then if we can flip this level, I think it's fine. I think we can go for new highs. And then you would have a nice little long. But optimally for that swing trade, we're gonna be looking here, as I was saying before. Swing long. Actually, let me put this on the 1 hour. Swing long. And voila. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm probably not gonna be up for this scalp trade. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna be up. It's already 12 a.m. here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set a limit order at 90,000 for 25%. I don't want to do market. Uh, 90,000. Order price. Actually, I don't know if this is gonna close my trade or not. I want to be careful. I might do it with these. I'm gonna do it from this partial take profit, 25%, trigger 90,000. So okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and this should work. Let's see. There it is. Only $21. What? I know, that's my other long trade. Let me check if this is correct. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna make another $130 if we hit this 90,000. I'm probably not gonna be able to take a long trade, but at least I will have taken some profit. So I suggest you do the same. Of course, if you're gonna be up, you can just set an alert and then you can see the reaction. If this trades through like completely, like we crashed through here, there's not even the need to take profit. You can take profit much lower. But since I don't think I'm gonna be up, I'm gonna set the take profit, because if during the night we do something like this, then I'm gonna be pissed. And I don't want to do that. And then also I'm gonna increase my, I'm gonna put my stop loss down to, let's see, I'm gonna put my stop loss on 93,200. Like that. So this should be okay. Of course, if they want to scam me, they're gonna do something like this, take me out and crash this back down. That would not be optimal, but hopefully that doesn't happen. So yeah, that's it. If you wanna, for Bitcoin at least, if you wanna see other things, you know, you can just drop it in the chat and we'll take a look. I think someone did ask to see Pippin. Yeah, we'll see Pippin. Also, wait, one last thing I want to show you is the CME gap on 90,000, which is right here. That's the fill. That's what we were talking about right there. Let's see if we can see this on the TPO. There it is. We have it right here. Where's my RTH? Ah, that's why it didn't make sense. Just give me a second. Where's my... Anyways, the gap is gonna be here. Gap fill, the gap open, we did initially, as you can see, we did crash here, and that was support. That was the gap open, and that was respected very, very well, clearly. All right, gap open, very well respected, very nice bounce. That was last night. Couldn't break the last high, and we continued down lower. Once you enter the gap open, typically you fill this up, and then there we can see that reversal. But do keep in mind we also have another gap down here, which would line up pretty well with what I was talking about, with the one at 87. So that's also another added confluence here. So we have these two. I mean, this matches very, very well for both cases. The gap fill here, that's the area for the scalp. Scalp long. And then the gap fill here, that's the area for the swing. All right, so that's what we needed to check. So let's see Pippin. So on Pippin, we did have a long trade where we took a loss. I mean, honestly, it wasn't even that big of a loss because we had a trade right here. Second time, by the way. The reason why I like this, typically I don't trade a level 2 times, but what I liked in this case was the fact that we had taken the liquidity on the 4 hours here, and we had front run the anchor VWAP initially, and so I did like how we did that. Obviously on the 30 minutes and 1 hour it wasn't respected, but on the 4 hours we did take the liquidity and then we pumped. So yeah, I like that because we finally tapped the anchor VWAP, and this was paying a lot of funding. So I actually made around $150 with the funding, and then I took a loss of around 300. So in reality I lost 150 because this stayed open for like 24 hours. It took a while before it stopped us out. Every hour right here I was getting paid $20. So it was like $20, $20, $20, $20, maybe even more than 150. I don't know, but other times I was getting paid $10. Anyways, before he stopped me out, it actually helped me to make some profit. Anyways, now let's see if there's anything to look at. We've lost this, which is not good. We can look at 20 cents. We can look at 14. The only thing is that with these tokens, they're kind of like memes. There's a lot of meme holders, and they could just dump the price. That's the only issue I have with this. So as much as some technical analysis is respected, if someone wants to dump $500 million or whatever, I mean not 500 million, but 100 million, 50 million, whatever, they are gonna cause a dump no matter the technical analysis. I mean, this was a great setup right here, I think, and it still failed. And you can tell this is like heavy selling. But anyways, there's 3 options. I would say right here is gonna be first option. Always check for reactions. Second option right here, and then third option would be if we reclaim these lows right here, then you do have a failed auction type of setup. So if we do something like this, you can wait for a couple 30-minute candle closes above here, and then you can look for that reversal, because that would be a failed auction, and then you would look at the other side of the range. So I'm gonna set an alert also at 27 cents, and then what you can do is simply put your entry there, stop loss below. You don't want to see this being visited again, and then you target up, and that's a nice trade. I don't think this is really gonna hold. We can check for some lower levels, but we don't really have anything on the weekly, on the monthly, not even on the daily. Here we do have it with the point of control. We have a daily, we have a point of control, a naked point of control, And you do have the anchor VWAP coming up, which is pretty much the exact same setup that we had, literally the exact same that we had right here. You had the daily, you had the point of control of the bigger range. You didn't tap the anchor VWAP, but as you can see, this daily and point of control held very, very well, and that's the amazing trade where we made like 600%. Exact same thing is coming up right here at around 15 cents. If we see 15 cents, I will be very interested in seeing that. To be honest, I'm gonna not even be interested in that. For me, it's gonna be either of these two trades. Here, based on the reaction, also consider much less volume here compared to all of this, so that might affect it. But this daily and point of control clearly has shown that works pretty well. So that's an interesting level right there. Of course, here you have to consider that we have to take profits. You know, you can bounce here, and then you can put a lower low right here, for example, or back test that point of control, anchor VWAP from the top. Like, it's all things you gotta keep in mind. And then you can put that lower low. So of course we have to, we always have to take profit. That's for sure. So that's it for Pippin. Someone asked for Solana. Solana, clear rejection at the point of control. I don't really have any interesting trades. I've talked about this before. Oh, I do have an interesting trade here off of taking this liquidity, 147. If we have such a move that I drew right there, then I'll be interested in taking a short. So we were almost close, now we're not. That would have been great to see this move a little bit more up to take that liquidity and then go down. But I will still set an alert here, and then hopefully we can either flip this level, because I am holding quite a little bit of Solana spot, and from there I think we can go back to 200, probably 170 and then 200. But my target remains 200 if we are to flip this level to the upside. I mean, as a final target, with possible reversal at 170. But then if we do fail here, I think we're going back to below 100 for sure, around 97, 90. And then if we failed that 90, I've talked about this before, I really do think it's probable. I mean, it's not going to happen in a day, but I do think it's possible that we go back to $20, because we have literally like no support here. So yeah, that's it for Solana. How's the weather out there? It's all right. During the day, it's pretty warm. It's like 24 degrees, 24. Can't really swim, to be honest. During the night, it's a little bit more chill. Like, I'm wearing a sweater right now, but I'm also on the 30th floor, so there's some more wind. But it's fine overall. Nice green screen, bro. It looks like you really are in Dubai. I tried along again. Yeah, look at this green screen. It's super good. Like, it moves with me. And we got a little pool over there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see on my OBS. Ah, shit, wait. Ah, there, right there. There's that nice little pool with the view on the Burj. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I cannot complain. Alright, let's go back to the chat. So, bro, how tried to long again Bitcoin after we tapped again NPOC and Anchor VWAP and after the SFP at previous low. Guys, do keep in mind that if a level has already been tapped, like for example, if the naked point of control it's already been tapped, I wouldn't trade it a second time. So I think we had that naked point of control right here, if I'm not wrong. And I'm talking about like daily, weekly, and monthly. I'm not talking about the main point of control of the range. I'm talking about these little guys right here. Like, if this is tapped once, I wouldn't try to trade it again. I only trade the first touch. I hope that's clear. You can look for a back test like right here, but I wouldn't trade a long trade a second time. Could you check RZLY? It's not even popping up in my stuff. Ah, LV, my bad. This kind of looks like a neograph, to be honest. I'm gonna get back to you on this one in the chat eventually. I'll send it in the group, in the trading chat. And FET, I sold most of my shit actually on FET. I had my average buy at 34 cents, but this was old. I put this out like a long time ago, and I think I sold at way more up. I sold it like right here, and then I kept some shit here. And to be honest, this is like a really dead coin in my opinion. I mean, just looks terrible. After they had that merge with like 3 other tokens or whatever, this shit's been going down 97% from the highs. So I mean, yeah, I barely hold any of this. I think I have like 5k, which was still worth like 20k to be honest. No, maybe not 20k, but I held some stuff like around $1 and then completely died. So yeah, I wouldn't even look for a trade. I mean, it does have some nice pumps, but to be honest, very boring. You would have to look for the usual setups, like right here, for example. Let's see if we have an SFP. You have an SFP right here if you want to trade this. Very welcome to. I mean, the trade should have been a little bit lower, and you would have had an amazing risk to reward. And you can trade this to the other side of the range. I mean, this is valid, to be honest, for whoever is craving a trade. And I mean, there's still liquidity up there to go and take. This was very slightly taken. I would probably put stop loss a little bit more below. 5 minutes. You don't even have that 5-minute market structure shift yet. So what you can do is you can wait for this to break structure, go for that lower retest, and then you can enter this trade. Something like that. For something like this. This is probably a bit smarter. Or you can wait for a second SFP. Either way, if you take this trade, I would keep this a little bit more wide, just in case it visits once again, because this was barely taken, to be honest. It might as well be equal lows. Can't tell. 27.48. And here, doesn't fucking tell me. Great. 27. Yeah, I mean, you did take the lows by 0.2. I mean, sorry, 0.02. No, not even. Less. 0.002. So yeah, I would probably do that, and then try to look for that entry a little bit more down, which will give you a better risk to reward, and then do something like this. And if you trade it to the other side of the range, you're still gonna have a 1 to 7. I took the SFP of the 912 low from the anchor VWAP bounce. Do you see anything wrong with it? I'm guessing you're talking about Bitcoin. The SFP. The only thing is I don't see the... Oh wait, maybe on the 30 minutes. No, I mean, it's valid. You can take that. There's not much confluence other than the SFP. It's just an SFP trade. Maybe you have... maybe this. I mean, yeah, it's not terrible. It's a valid trade. You do have that candle closure right here, so why not? If you took it down here, that's fine. Be careful of this anchor VWAP right there, even though it's already been flipped. Previous day low. But previous day low was right here. That's not an SFP yet. I'm not sure what you mean. Send me a screenshot on Discord chat. RZLV. I did look at it. Ah, it's the cousin of Neo. Is it actually? Like they still do? Do they still do electric cars? Pretty nice view. Yeah, the view here is pretty good. We are very lucky because typically when you come to Dubai, all these buildings out here, they always get like a building in front of it, and so then you always, like, you never have that that view in the background with the Burj Khalifa. Instead, this one specific, there's nothing like in front of us, so it's pretty good. I tried sending a screenshot, but it doesn't let me to send screenshot. Send it to me in private. Anyways, I think we looked at everything, and it is pretty late here, so I'm gonna go, I think, if we don't have anything else to see. Yeah, it's almost midnight, so guys, I'm gonna say goodbye to all. To be honest, I'm not a fan of this long trade, by the way, even though we SFP'd. I'm gonna check order flow for you guys, and then I'll go. Yeah, lots of longs. I wouldn't take this, to be honest, personally. I think it's gonna get stopped out. Lots of shorts getting liquidated as well. There's no longs stuck at the bottom, so not a fan of this. I think you can have that reaction, you can scalp this real quick, but I think overall it's gonna do something like that, and we're gonna go for that 90,000. I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you understood everything, and I will see you maybe tomorrow. If I have some time, I'll do another stream. The only thing is I don't know how to end the stream because I closed the page. So I'm gonna do this. Nope, wrong. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put myself a little bit bigger right now, and I'm gonna figure out how to close this so you guys can already leave if you wish. Have a good day, and I will see you maybe tomorrow.